So hello my dear friends, welcome back again to our YouTube channel Invisible Threads. Hope all of you are doing well. So today in this video I will discuss some concepts through the discussion of some numericals on the Gauss's law, and I think you will understand the importance of this theorem on the electrostatics. So let's begin. So some concepts regarding the Gauss's law. So I will go through our first problems, which is that a positive charge of capital Q is equal to 8 millicoulomb. 1 millicoulomb is equal to 10 to the minus 3 coulomb is placed inside the cavity of a neutral spherical conducting shell. You can see the neutral spherical conducting shell is there. So inside the center of the spherical shell I have placed one capital Q charge of 8 millicoulomb with inner radius A. You can see this is the inner radius and the outer radius is small b. Find the charge induced at the inner and the outer surfaces of the cell. So I need to find the induced charge that has been there in the inner surface and also in the outer surface. So we know that for the conductor the electric field is inside is 0, because I have discussed in my previous problem that for the conductor in this space, if I draw that the variation of the electric field will be like, so this is the electric field with the distance from the center up to the surface, the electric field is 0, and then it is decayed proportional to 1 by r square. So in this region inside the conductor the electric field is 0. So if we place any external charge inside the cell, you can see I have placed capital Q is equal to 8 millicoulomb. It is the external charge. The electric field created due to the charge, which is the capital Q is equal to 8 millicoulomb, will be cancelled by the electric field created by the induced charge on the inner and the outer surfaces of the cell. So if I place some external charge here, you can see from the figure there will be induced charge on the inner surfaces and also for the outer surfaces. So you can see in the picture I have mentioned the induced charge for the inner surfaces is Q induced, and the outer surfaces, for the outer surface the charge that is there is Q out. So we can see that the let charge induced on the inner surface is Q induced, and we choose the Gaussian surface to enclose the capital Q, that is the external charge, and also the inner surface of the cell, which is the Q induced. So we know that the electric field inside the conductor is 0. So we can write that closed surface integral of E dot ds as E is equal to 0. You can see that E is equal to 0. So that the left hand side of the from the Gauss's law, you can see that the closed surface integral E dot ds is equal to 0 is equal to, in the right hand side what we have is the capital Q plus Q induced, because the Gaussian surface that I have written here are enclosing the charge capital Q and also the inner surface of the cell. So it means the inner surface I have taken the induced charge as Q induced. So capital Q plus Q induced is equal to 0. So from there I can get the value of the Q induced is equal to minus capital Q, that is minus 8 millicoulomb. So we can say that as the conducting shell is electrically neutral, so I have already got that the inner surface have the charge of minus 8 millicoulomb, but the overall conducting shell is electrically neutral. So the charge on the outer surface will be Q out is equal to plus 8 millicoulomb, because as the overall charge of the conductor is neutral. So our next problem will be like, so you can see in the figure there are two charges, one is minus Q and one is plus Q. So and I have considered some 4 surfaces here. One is the surface A here, surrounding charge minus Q, surface B surrounding charge plus Q, and here is the surface C, the closed surface C, and the another one, the bigger one, the surface D, which encloses both the charges minus Q and the plus Q. So I need to find the flux through each of the surfaces A, B, C and D. So you can see for the surface A, it encloses the negative minus Q charge, so the flux will be, electric flux will be phi EA. If I am denoting the flux as phi EA, so it will be minus Q by epsilon naught, because from the Gauss's law we know that the electric flux will depends only on the charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. It not depends on the shape of the surface. So phi EA is equal to minus Q by epsilon naught, and for the surface B it encloses the positive plus Q charge. You can see that from the diagram here. So phi EB is equal to plus Q by epsilon naught. Similarly the surface C encloses no charge, so phi of EC is equal to 0, because you can see inside the surface C, the closed surface C, there is no charge, so the electric flux through the surface is 0. And the surface D, the bigger one, you can see inside there is two charges minus Q and the plus Q, so the overall charge is 0. So for the surface D, it encloses plus q, plus of minus q is equal to 0 charge. So the flux through the big surface, the closed big one, is the phi ed is equal to 0. In another scenario, we can predict the result from another discussion with that all the field lines that crosses capital A surface are directed inward. So the flux is negative. The directed flux is we are taken as the negative one. For the surface B, what we can see, all the field lines are directed outward. So the flux is positive. And for both the surface C and D, you can see there are as many flux lines pointing into the surface and also the same number pointing outward. So the total flux or the resultant flux through each of the surface is 0. Okay, so this is from the another viewpoint. So our next problem will be on another one. So you can see a hemisphere of radius capital R is placed in an uniform electric field such that its center axis is parallel to the field. So you can see this is the hemisphere here. This is the three mutually perpendicular axes x, y and z. The base of the hemisphere is at the xy plane and the perpendicular direction is the z axis, and the electric field is directed along the axis. So it means the z axis. So we can take the electric field, we can write the electric field vector is equal to E vector is equal to E0 k cap, because it is directed towards the z direction. So again, from the spherical coordinate, you know that this is the three mutually perpendicular axes x, y and z, and this is the position vector of some point on the surface, that is the capital R. So this angle is theta with the z axis. So this is z is equal to r cos theta, and if we take the projection of the r on the xy plane, it will be r sin theta. So x value will be r sin theta cos phi, and y is equal to r sin theta sin phi. And if this is r sin theta, so this much amount is r sin theta d phi, because it is phi and this small angle is d phi. So this is r sin theta d phi, and this much length is r d theta. So the elemental area on the surface of the sphere, which will be r sin theta d phi times r d theta, it means r square sin theta d phi, and the normal to the vector is along the radius, so it is r cap. So the area element of a spherical surface of radius capital R dA vector is equal to r sin theta d phi. This is r sin theta d phi times its width is equal to r d theta times r cap is equal to r square sin theta d phi r cap. So we need to calculate and I have already taken that electric field is equal to E0 k cap, and the surface is r cap. So you can see from the figure that this is the direction of the electric field along k cap, and this is the r cap is the direction of the normal to the surface. So in between the angle of them is theta. So we know from the Gauss's law that phi is equal to closed surface integral of E dot dA. So we can write E vector is equal to E0 k cap dot dA vector is equal to r caps r square sin theta d phi. So this means E0 r square, in between the k cap and r cap the angle is theta, so it is a cos theta. So E0 r square sin theta d phi cosine theta, E0 r square, and d phi, this is the angle d phi. So I need to integrate the d phi from the range of 0 to 2 pi, and theta will be for the whole sphere, it will be 0 to pi, as it is a hemisphere one. So I need to integrate theta from 0 to pi by 2 sin theta cosine theta d theta. So from that we can, if we integrate it, we can get the value of phi e, the total flux is equal to pi E0 r square. It means the base of the hemisphere have the area of pi r square times the magnitude of the electric field E0. So we can see that if we see from the top of the hemisphere, we can see only the area of the pi r square. So this is so from that point, if we try to see the hemisphere, we will see a circle of radius capital R, and the effective area of the circle will be pi capital R square. So it is written that if we see from the top of the hemisphere, we can see only the area of pi r square, and the hemisphere looks like a circle of radius capital R. This area is called the effective area of the hemisphere. So the effective area comes into fact to calculate the electric flux, because the effective area is pi r square times the magnitude of the electric field is E0. So our next problem will be on, suppose a point charge Q is placed at a distance of a by 2 directly above the center of the square of side A. So you can see that the ABCD is a square, and the q charge is located just above a distance of a by 2 from the center of the square. So you can see that this distance is a by 2. So we need to find the electric flux through the square. I need to find how much the electric flux is there through the square of side A, B, C, D. So what we can do, we just made a cube with the square as one of its faces. So imagine a closed cube of side A, this is a length A, and charge Q is located at its center, and the given square is one of its faces. So ABCD is one of the faces of the cube, and I have drawn the whole cube. So we know that the cube makes a closed surface, and inside there the charge is small q. So the total flux passing through cube over its 6 faces will be q by epsilon naught. We know from the Gauss's law. So as the given square is one of its faces, so the flux through square will be q by 6 epsilon naught, because the flux will be equally distributed over each of the faces. So through this square, which is one of the faces of the cube ABCD, for the whole cube ABCD is one of the faces. So through the square, we know we can get the value of the flux is q by 6 epsilon naught. So our next problem will be like, find the dimension of the electric flux. So from the Gauss's law, we know that the closed surface integral E dot ds is equal to total flux. We mention it as the total flux. It means the electric field times the area. So we need to find the dimension of the product electric field and the area. So this is the unit of the electric field. Electric field has the unit of volt per meter. Again, we know that the work done is equal to charge times the voltage. So work done has the dimension of m L square t to the power minus 2 is equal to, we need to find the dimension of the volt. So volt times q has the dimension of ampere times the time. So we can get from there, we can get the dimension of the volt is equal to m L square t to the power minus 3 a to the power minus 1. So again, we know that the electric field is equal to volt per meter. So we have already got the dimension of the volt is equal to m L square to the power minus 3 a to the power minus 1. So I am putting the value here, divided by meter is equal to L. Meter has a dimension of L, so it comes m L to the power minus 3 a to the power minus 1. So the dimension of the electric flux will be electric field times the area. The dimension of the electric field times the dimension of the area. So I have already got the dimension of the electric field as m L t to the power minus 3 a to the power minus 1. So I am putting the value here, times area has the dimension of L square. So totally it comes m L cube t to the power minus 3 a to the power minus 1. So this is the dimension of the electric flux. So my friends, I am concluding my discussion here. If you have any kind of question, don't hesitate to contact me and write to me in this video comment box. Stay updated and keep supporting us. Thank you.